The origins and historical roots. The story of the Yakuza begins in the bustling markets of 17th-century Japan. During the Edo period, Japan experienced unprecedented peace and stability under the Tokugawa shogunate. This era saw the rise of two distinct groups that would form the foundation of the Yakuza. The first group were the tekiya, wandering peddlers who sold goods at festivals and markets. These merchants often operated in legal gray areas, selling fake medicines and low-quality goods. They organized themselves into groups for protection and to control territory. The second group were the bakuto, gamblers who operated illegal gambling rings. The name Yakuza itself comes from a losing hand in their favorite card game, Oicho Kabu. Ya-ku-za means 893, the worst possible combination in the game. This name symbolized their status as social outcasts. Both groups developed strict codes of conduct and organizational structures. They valued loyalty and honor above all else. Members underwent formal initiation ceremonies. They practiced yubitsume, finger shortening, as punishment for failures. The Meiji Restoration in 1868 brought massive social changes to Japan. The new government cracked down on organized crime. But the Yakuza adapted and survived. They moved into new criminal enterprises like prostitution and labor racketeering. The early 20th century saw the Yakuza become more sophisticated. They began developing relationships with political figures. This pattern of adaptation would continue throughout their history. World War II was a major turning point for the Yakuza. The post-war chaos created perfect conditions for their growth. Black markets flourished in bombed-out cities. The Yakuza stepped in to provide goods and services the government could not. They also began adopting American gangster imagery. Dark suits and sunglasses replaced traditional Japanese clothing. But their core values of loyalty and honor remained. The 1960s saw the Yakuza become more violent and powerful. They expanded into construction and entertainment industries. They developed international connections. Public outrage grew over their activities. The Japanese government passed the Anti-Boss Law in 1992. This was designed to weaken Yakuza leadership. It had some success, but the organizations adapted again. Today, the Yakuza exists in a strange legal gray area in Japan. They are not illegal organizations under Japanese law. Their offices are often clearly marked and publicly known. But police pressure has increased significantly in recent years. Membership has declined from its peak in the 1960s. Yet the Yakuza remains embedded in Japanese society. Their story is one of constant adaptation and survival. From street vendors to modern criminal enterprises, they have weathered centuries of social change. The Yakuza's origins show how criminal organizations evolve with society. They fill gaps left by formal institutions. They provide alternative social structures for outcasts. Their history reflects Japan's own turbulent modernization. In our next episode, we will explore the intricate structure of Yakuza organizations. We will examine their rituals, ranks, and strict codes of conduct. Subscribe to Dark Deduce for more investigations into the world's most secretive organizations. The structure and organization. The Yakuza operates through a highly structured system that mirrors traditional Japanese family units. At the core of every organization is the oyabun-kobun relationship, meaning parent-child. This creates a bond stronger than blood ties, with absolute loyalty expected in both directions. The Oyabun, or godfather, provides protection and guidance to his Kobun, or followers. In return, Kobun pledge their complete allegiance and service. This relationship is formalized through the Sakazuki ritual, where sake is shared from the same cup. The ceremony symbolizes the creation of a lifelong familial bond. Breaking this bond is considered the ultimate betrayal. Major Yakuza families are organized into elaborate hierarchies. The Kumicho sits at the top as the supreme boss. Directly beneath are the Saiko Komon, or senior advisors. The Wakagashira serve as second-in-command, overseeing daily operations. Below them are various ranks including Shate, younger brothers, and Wakayu, junior members. Each position carries specific responsibilities and privileges. The largest Yakuza organization is the Yamaguchi-gumi, headquartered in Kobe. Founded in 1915, it has approximately 8,200 members across Japan. The current leader is Kenichi Shinoda, known as Shinobu Tsukasa. The Yamaguchi-gumi functions as a federation of smaller gangs. Each subsidiary group maintains some autonomy while swearing loyalty to the supreme boss. This structure allows for both centralized control and local flexibility. Other major syndicates include the Sumiyoshi Kai and Inagawa Kai. These three groups control most Yakuza activity in Japan. They sometimes cooperate, but more often compete for territory and influence. Initiation into the Yakuza involves serious commitment and ceremony. New members must sever ties with their biological families. They pledge eternal loyalty to their Oyabun during the Sakazuki ritual. Members receive new names and begin at the lowest ranks. They must prove their worth through years of dedicated service. Discipline within the organization is strict and ritualized. The most famous punishment is yubitsume, or finger shortening. Members who fail in their duties must cut off part of their finger. The severed portion is presented to the Oyabun as apology. This serves as both punishment and permanent mark of failure. Multiple offenses can lead to loss of multiple fingers. Modern Yakuza sometimes replace this with tattoos or other marks. Yakuza are renowned for their elaborate full-body tattoos. These irazumi are traditional works of art covering most of the body. Designs typically feature dragons, koi fish, and mythological creatures. The process is extremely painful and can take years to complete. Tattoos serve multiple purposes within the organization. They demonstrate commitment and endurance. They mark the wearer as an outsider to normal society. They create a sense of brotherhood among members. Yakuza activities have evolved significantly over time. Traditional operations include gambling, prostitution, and protection rackets. They have expanded into legitimate businesses, including construction and finance. Stock manipulation and corporate blackmail are common practices. International operations have grown in recent decades. Drug trafficking and arms smuggling are major revenue sources. They maintain connections with criminal groups worldwide. The Yakuza structure has proven remarkably adaptable. It has survived numerous legal challenges and social changes. The organization continues to evolve while maintaining its core traditions. In our next episode, we will examine Yakuza rituals and codes of conduct. We will explore how these traditions shape their criminal activities. Subscribe to Dark Deduce for more deep dives into criminal organizations worldwide. Rituals and codes of conduct. The Yakuza maintain a complex system of rituals that govern their daily lives. These traditions create a strong sense of identity and belonging. They separate members from mainstream society while binding them to the organization. The most important ritual is the Sakazuki ceremony. This sake-sharing ritual formalizes the Oyabun-Kobun relationship. The Oyabun and new member drink from the same sake cup. This symbolizes their new father-son bond. The ceremony is steeped in tradition and symbolism. Participants wear formal Japanese clothing. The room is arranged according to strict protocols. Every movement and word follows ancient patterns. Another crucial ritual is the finger-shortening ceremony known as yubitsume. This punishment dates back to the Yakuza's early days. It serves multiple purposes within the organization. The physical pain reminds the member of their failure. The visible deformity makes it harder to use weapons. This increases the member's dependence on the group. The ceremony follows specific steps. The offending member must prepare the tools himself. He uses a sharp knife or a special cutting tool. He places his hand on a cloth and cuts off the fingertip. The severed portion is wrapped and presented to the Oyabun. This act completes the atonement process. Full-body tattoos represent another important tradition. These irezumi are not just decorative but deeply symbolic. The process is incredibly painful and expensive. Traditional methods use hand-held needles rather than modern tattoo guns. Sessions can last for hours and span several years. The designs follow specific symbolic rules. Dragons represent wisdom and strength. Koi fish symbolize perseverance. Peonies indicate wealth and prosperity. Flames represent protection and vitality. These tattoos create a permanent mark of commitment. They make it impossible to return to normal society. They also create a bond between members with similar tattoos. The Yakuza Code of Conduct emphasizes specific virtues. Loyalty is the most important value. Members must prioritize the organization above all else. This includes family, friends, and personal interests. Honor is another crucial principle. Members must maintain their dignity at all times. They must avoid bringing shame to the organization. Courage in the face of adversity is expected. The code also governs business practices. Certain activities are considered more honorable than others. Protection rackets are viewed as legitimate business. Drug trafficking is sometimes frowned upon. This varies between different Yakuza families. Modern Yakuza face challenges maintaining these traditions. Younger members often question ancient rituals. Police surveillance makes elaborate ceremonies difficult. Social changes reduce the appeal of traditional values. Some groups have adapted their practices. Digital communications replace some in-person meetings. Symbolic tattoos replace actual finger shortening. But the core values remain largely unchanged. The rituals serve important psychological functions. They create a strong group identity. They enforce discipline through peer pressure. They provide meaning and structure for members. Understanding these rituals is key to understanding the Yakuza. They explain the organization's resilience. They show why members remain loyal despite the risks. They reveal the cultural foundations of Japanese organized crime. In our next episode, we will explore the Yakuza's role in Japanese society. We will examine their complex relationship with the public and government.
The Modern Yakuza: Society, Business, and Politics. The Yakuza exists in a complex relationship with modern Japanese society. They are both criminal outcasts and established social actors. This dual identity shapes their operations and survival strategies. In daily life, Yakuza members often maintain visible public profiles. Many offices operate openly with nameplates and logos. Some groups publish newsletters and maintain websites. They participate in community events and disaster relief efforts. This public presence stems from their self-image as chivalrous organizations. They see themselves as modern-day samurai protecting traditional values. Their code emphasizes helping the weak and fighting injustice. In practice, this means filling gaps in social services. After natural disasters, Yakuza are often first responders. They organize aid distribution after the 1995 Kobe earthquake. They sent supplies to affected areas after the 2011 tsunami. These actions build community goodwill and provide operational cover. The Yakuza maintains complex ties with Japanese businesses. They have significant investments in legitimate industries. Construction and real estate are particularly common. Entertainment and finance are also major sectors. Some businesses pay protection money, known as mikajimario. This provides insurance against Yakuza interference. Other companies hire Yakuza for specific services. Labor dispute resolution is one common service. Debt collection is another frequent request. These relationships operate in legal gray areas. The Yakuza also engages in corporate blackmail. This practice, called sokaiya, involves disrupting shareholder meetings. They gather compromising information about companies. They threaten to reveal this information unless paid. Recent laws have made this practice more difficult. Political connections have been crucial to Yakuza survival. For decades, they maintained ties with conservative politicians. They provided security at political rallies. They intimidated opposition candidates. Some politicians came from Yakuza families themselves. These relationships began changing in the 1990s. Public pressure forced politicians to distance themselves. The 1992 anti-boss law criminalized business with Yakuza. Companies began screening employees for criminal connections. But complete separation has proven difficult. Yakuza influence continues in certain regions and industries. Construction and entertainment remain particularly connected. Some politicians still benefit from Yakuza support. The relationship is now more hidden, but not eliminated. Law enforcement pressure has increased significantly. Police conduct regular raids on Yakuza offices. They monitor members' financial transactions. They enforce laws restricting Yakuza activities. Public attitude has shifted dramatically. Where once Yakuza were tolerated, now they're ostracized. Companies refuse to do business with them. Landlords won't rent to known members. This social pressure has been more effective than police action. The Yakuza has adapted to these changes. Many members have moved operations overseas. Others have gone deeper underground. Some have transitioned to completely legitimate businesses. The organization continues to evolve while maintaining its core identity. Their future remains uncertain, but they have proven remarkably resilient. In our final episode, we will examine the Yakuza's global expansion and future prospects. Subscribe to Deduce for more investigations into how criminal organizations adapt to modern society.
Global expansion and future challenges. The Yakuza has transformed from a local Japanese phenomenon into a global criminal network. Their international expansion began in the 1970s and has accelerated in recent decades. This global reach now represents a key survival strategy for the organization. The initial overseas operations focused on Japanese tourist destinations. Hawaii was their first major international base. They targeted Japanese tourists with gambling schemes and extortion. Golf resorts and luxury hotels became centers of their activities. From Hawaii, they expanded to the American mainland. Los Angeles and San Francisco became important hubs. They partnered with local criminal organizations. Chinese triads and Korean gangs were frequent collaborators. These partnerships were strictly business relationships. They lacked the loyalty and ceremony of Yakuza internal bonds. Europe became the next frontier for expansion. London's financial district attracted their attention. Spanish coastal towns hosted retired members. Italian ports facilitated smuggling operations. Southeast Asia remains crucial to their operations. Philippines casinos help launder money. Thai resorts serve as meeting points. Vietnamese factories produce counterfeit goods. Australia has emerged as a new operational base. Japanese students and tourists provide cover. Real estate investments launder money. Local gangs are recruited as foot soldiers. The Yakuza's criminal portfolio has diversified internationally. Drug trafficking remains a major revenue source. They control much of Japan's methamphetamine supply. Their networks extend from Myanmar to American cities. Arms smuggling has become another profitable enterprise. They source weapons from Eastern Europe. Shipping routes pass through multiple countries. The profits are enormous due to Japan's strict gun laws. Financial crimes have grown in sophistication. Stock manipulation schemes target Japanese companies. Cybercrimes generate increasing revenue. Money laundering operations spam the globe. The Yakuza faces significant challenges in the 21st century. Membership has declined dramatically across Japan, from 180,000 members in the 1960s to under 30,000 today. Several factors explain this sharp decrease. Intensified police pressure has made operations difficult. New laws restrict their business activities. Bank accounts can be frozen based on suspected connections. Social rejection has proven more powerful than legal measures. Companies screen employees for Yakuza ties. Neighborhoods organize to drive out their offices. Even family members often reject those who join. Economic changes have undermined traditional revenue sources. Protection rackets are less profitable. Gambling operations face new competition. Legitimate businesses are harder to maintain. The Yakuza has responded with adaptation strategies. Many members have moved into cybercrime. Phishing scams and ransomware attacks are growing. Intellectual property theft is another focus. Other members have transitioned to legitimate enterprises. They use their organizational skills in business. Some have become successful entrepreneurs. This transition is often supported by their organizations. The traditional structure is evolving. Large families are